Well, hello. Welcome to Turbotov. I hope you're doing great. I hope you're having a great day or great night or, well, whenever you're watching this video. This week, last week, I was racing at Long Beach in iRacing, and I want to show you the highlights of the races I did. Uh, as a, as an announcement, this wasn't a good week at all. We didn't have much pace, we struggled a lot, and we actually retired of most of the races. Well, I did. Here you see the legendary Ford GT3, a car you have to be mad to use. Like, nobody uses that, it's crazy to drive. The thing is, it actually drives better than the Ferrari, at least on the fixed series. On the open series, you can do a little bit more setup work and work your way around the flaws of your car. But here, the Ford is better than the Ferrari. So I was trying it. It still wasn't. It wasn't any good. So I left it aside, and we're going to start our first fixed race in the Mercedes, which is mildly competitive. As our fellow YouTuber Dave Cam said, this track is absolutely disgusting. And I don't know why he said that. I was enjoying the practice until I got to the start here. I bumped the guy in front, lost a lot of time, a couple of places there, because, we didn't know if we had to do a single file or two files, and, well, everything was crazy. Um, we're starting P15 or P14, if I'm not mistaken. So we lost quite a lot of positions there, and we're going to struggle a lot. I don't like this car because I can show you cool takes from the inside. As you see, the roll bar camera doesn't work at all, and it's it drives pretty differently to the Ferrari. And I know it's obvious, but front engine V8, all of the weight at the front, it drives in a completely different way, and you have to change your mindset to that. This Red Bull Mercedes makes a clean move, and surprisingly, or, well, not surprisingly, actually, I should have expected that. It was the only clean move that a person did to me throughout the whole weekend. That sounds weird, but I mean, it is what it is. Here we go through there, and the Mercedes in front crash, and they get a lot of damage from that, so we managed to regain those couple of places there. And if I'm not mistaken, here I am on P11, closing in on P10, who clearly has much less pace than me. But the guy behind is also closing in, so I have to try and find a way to at least get a top 10. As you know, top 10 gains high rating, that's what we're looking for. And here we are in a three-way fight, and the guy in the back has more pace than me, but we both have more pace than the Mercedes in front. So I'm just looking for a gap, Long Beach, street circuit, not a lot of places to overtake. So yeah, here the guy behind me tries to go to the outside, I try to cover, but that was actually counterproductive, as you'll see here, because we're losing time to the car in front, we're not being very clever about it. And here I try to maintain the position on the inside, but I actually touch him and end up losing a lot of time due to understeer. The Beamers behind have a lot more pace, the Beamer on the Lamborghini are way faster around here than us. So we have to find a way through and have to find a way to keep those Beamers behind so that we're able to get a top 10. This is the second to last lap, and I'm trying to find the gap once again. I'm going to try to use that Mercedes in front, which is pretty damaged and way slower than me, to retain the Beamers behind. And I don't know how I'm going to do it, but we'll see if we can do it. The BMW is blinking, everything is chaos, this track is hilarious. I actually love it, and I want to race here again, or, I wanted to race here again before before this video. You'll see why in a little bit. We go through the Mercedes, we're in the top 10, and surprisingly, we are able to hold them off for one more lap, and we're able to get our top 10, which is good news. That's exactly what we were looking for at the moment. So yeah, it was an extremely challenging race. Of course, damaged car. If you damage the front of the Mercedes, you actually lose a lot of downforce, lots of downforce. You're not able to turn in as better as you did. It is evident you're going to feel it. At least my teammates at the 24 hours of Spa felt that when they crashed. So yeah, here we are going into the last hairpin. Put that in first gear, turn all the way to the right, and finish the race. Top 10. Good job. The only good race from that weekend, or well, from last weekend. Now here we are in our beloved Sky Sports Ferrari 488 GT3. This is the one we've used so far. I feel really comfortable with this car. I did a lot of setup work. I actually do my own setups. I don't download it from anywhere. Or well, I try to use a setup sync whenever there are setups, but as you may know, there are a lot of more shops and sites to get them nowadays. So I rather just get to know my car and make a setup for me, something that I feel comfortable with. And that's actually what I did. I was doing 119s, 120s consistently. We had lots of pace, and especially being the Ferrari, one of the least competitive cars around here. So this is our first start of the 40-minute sprint race. The Mercedes tries to go to the inside of the hairpin, but I mean, we're trying to do a single lane start because there is not a space on the track. That's a basic, well, if you ever race at Long Beach, you will try to do a single file start so you can prevent any damage. The start was clean. I was starting from P5, so we weren't involved in any lap 1 action. Maybe the cars in front were fighting a little bit, but as you may know, we'll try to take it cautiously through here. We don't want to wreck the car on the first lap at a 40-minute race. We all have pretty similar pace, but the Porsche, maybe because of the rear engine having most of the weight at the back, it has better performance around here. Although they have better turn-in, better exit of the corners and much more speed, they also have this weird tendency to understeer, typical of the 911, you know, lots of weight in back and no weight at the front. So the Beamer goes through, and I'm actually tailing this 911, and I'm being pursued by a Mercedes. Sadly, for this guy, he lost it there. I managed to make it through, there you see me, but most of people didn't avoid him, and he had to retire. This Porsche loses it on turn 1, as you see. Suddenly you lose all the grip at the rear in those Porsches, so you want to be careful with that. This Mercedes tried to make a move on me, but he went too deep, and as you may know, you literally don't have any runoff here. It's either braking or taking or turning around as I believe he did. So yeah, we are maintaining P3 now, as we gain those 2 places from the Beamer and the Porsche. Sadly, this happened, and I don't know why. It caught me by surprise. It seems as if I lost it there by my own hand. But this Mercedes, a couple of places back, basically didn't brake. Or I don't know what he was thinking, he had a lot of damage, but he took me out of the race. My car was damaged, 20-minute repairs if I'm not mistaken. And he kept on driving. That's something that made me mad. Pretty dirty driver. He kept on driving and ruining everyone's race. I don't know what he was thinking. He didn't went into the box this lap, so you know he was absolutely crazy. We retired from that race, lost a lot of I rating, and safety rating, of course. So we give it a try on another 40-minute race, where we are starting in the middle of the pack. That's not ideal, but at the very least, we made it through the first lap without many incidents. We had a little bit of contact with the Porsche in front, but nothing too serious. I didn't see any visible damage, and we were fighting for position. Then, and that's why I titled this video, "What if we braked?" This happens. This Porsche understeers, as per usual. I go to the right, I try to make it through. This Porsche is on my back, and when I try to brake for the corner, he punts me and sends me into the shadow realm, and my race is done at that point. So that's the second retirement of the weekend, which made me pretty angry because he just got a little dent on the front bumper and he was able to keep it on track and keep going and finish the race on a pretty respectable position. So yeah, this is my car dying. It was sad. I was pretty frustrated at that point. But I thought, hey, let's not give up. And I went for a third race the next day. This was actually the last race of the week before the track changes. We are starting in the top 10, if I'm not mistaken. The guys in front of me didn't grid, so I actually was fighting this Falcon BMW. If I go to the front, he goes to the front. We do a double file start. I didn't know, he goes through. Everything is crazy, but at the very least, our car is clean and skated, and we had a decent start. For the first 5 laps, we lacked a lot of pace, and by a lot I mean a lot of pace. The Lambos behind were breathing on my back, right on my heels. So yeah, we were suffering with that. Here you'll see a move by this Lambo. It was a little bit far. He was a little bit far behind, and he actually tries to put me in the wall, and we have contact, and everything is a disaster. This Mercedes doesn't brake once again, in line with the title of the video. Here you'll see another angle of it, or well, my perspective. He tried to dive on me. I left him lots of room, but he actually tried to pull me in the right wall. So I was a little bit angry once again. Long Beach, we understand. We're now calmed. My teammates told me that I was actually going to experience this, that I was going to be scarred for the rest of my life whenever I see Long Beach, even though I love the track. And they were right. This Lambo goes for the move here. I tried to make the comeback through the outside of the last couple of turns, but I'm not able. He's way faster and he tries to block the line. He did it pretty clean. Sorry. The Mercedes and this Lambo were the only two people who made a clean move on me. So props to them. I respect that a lot. I hope you too. And here I am on P7, and remember how we said that people didn't know how to brake? Well, the Lambo had a little bit of an incident, understandable. He actually managed to keep the car on the track without any damage, and he doesn't make contact. So good for him. He's right on my bumper. We are like 3 or 2 laps to go at this point, and I'm on P6. But then I miss my braking point and I go too deep. Right then and there, I said, hey, let's try to brake, let's try to turn around, make a U-turn, and I do this beautiful maneuver where I actually put my car in the wall. And when I try to reverse, my right tire is hooked, my suspension is gone, and the race is over for me. And that was on me. I didn't brake. That was completely on me, my mistake. Nobody here, including me, knows how to brake. So we'll have to improve that for the next races. This week, we're doing Summit Point and maybe Sebring on the GTs. We'll have to see how that goes. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you like and subscribe. And see you on track.